Hey, what's going on, everyone? It's Sheila from Sketch Pro Studios. What I'm going to show you in the next 10 minutes is that how Google is shifting its attention from only words and keywords and signs to actually coherent content using AI. So without further ado, let's get going. So, okay, welcome to my screen sharing. Well, let's take a look at a few things. So this is my actual account. This is my business account. You can see I'm signed in. So I just want to answer a very quick question. Why do we care about Google so much? That's mainly because I think over 3.5 billion people actively use Google. There are other search engines such as Bing, such as many others that Microsoft has been really trying to push in the last years, but they never caught on. And there's a reason behind it. While those like those search engines such as Ask Jeeves and Bing were trying to be solely a search engine, Google was never really just a search engine. Google is actually a marketing company, and that is how all of us need to look at it. And that is why every person got so excited about it when Google started to update their algorithms and add more complications into it and actually add logics into it. And now, my friends, in 2021, I don't know if we should be happy or sad to say, but Google has implemented their version of AI into their search console. So let's take a look at a few things together. I'm just going to click here just quickly. You can see what I have searched for before. And this is actually the same way that every search engine works. And if you don't want someone like Google to keep track of what you're searching, simply use a safe search engine. The good example would be DuckDuckGo. And let me just actually go back here. I think Google would be very mad if we search DuckDuckGo here, but yes, as funny as it sounds, DuckDuckGo is actually a very secure, one of the most secure search engines out there. So basically what I'm saying is, if you don't want the search engine to work as a marketing campaign and only be a search engine, no ads related, use something like DuckDuckGo. With that out of the way, let's get going. So we're going to take a look and see how exactly this marketing works. For this, we're using a website called suval.com, I believe. Now, this is a very basic website, but what it does is that it indexes the usage of a certain word in different search engines. So let's say, for example, I'm looking for a coat. So you can already see that what people actually actively search for on these different places. So on Google, people search for the first thing is coach, actually not coat. So if you have let's say a fashion sort of store, like a boutique or something, and you want to sell coats, perhaps Google is not the best place to really invest on. But you can also see what you can find on eBay, what you can find like on eBay, you actually have coat rack. On Amazon, the same coat rack. So that's actually what people have searched for more than coat itself. Coat rack is first on Amazon. Coat is at the bottom of the list. So this is actually what SEO used to mean, which was you figure out which words are more in use, and then you bombard your pages or your posts with those words, and you wait for the magic to happen. Now, there are many other tools for this, and to be very honest, what Google has done is to put a lot of people such as these websites sort of out of the business. The other website that a lot of developers used to use, a lot of SEO gurus used to use, what's called Jaxi. Jaxi does pretty much the same thing, but it also tells you how qualified those words are. So should you really invest on them? And even Google, for their ad purpose, they still kept their keyword planner. If you go to ads.google.com and search for keyword planner, you can see this keyword planner. The only problem is it is aimed at ads, so it may not be the sharpest tool that you can use. I said all of these to get to this point. This is the most recent release from Google. now in terms of SEO, and this is the most basic thing. This is a pamphlet or a very short article they've released just to make sure that every person on the internet knows how SEO is working in 2021. So I'm not, in this video, I'm not going to go through the details. In the following video on SEO, make sure you watch that one. I'm actually going to do SEO on a brand new website so you can see how exactly it's done. You don't really need to spend thousands of dollars on marketing campaigns, on well, let me rephrase that, on marketing companies promising you to bring organic content, organic traffic to you. And here is the reason. First of all, this has become the most important thing for Google. Give visitors the information they're looking for. So now AI does not only scan for keywords, it actually tries to understand sentences. It actually tries to understand what content you are offering to people. So that being said, the written content is even more important than ever before. Secondly, make sure that other sites link to yours. This hasn't changed. Even before we had this, you needed outbound links, inbound links. You need to make sure that you actually send people to other websites, and also other websites send people to you. So that hasn't really changed. But the last thing that really has changed, make your site easily accessible. And that is the thing I really want to talk to you about for a second. To better explain this, I'm going to use Google and actually search this for you. What is UX design? UX design is a process of designing, digital or physical, designing products that, or basically web pages, whatever that it is, that are useful, easy to use, and delightful to interact with. Now, I think this actually does give all the information that we need. What Google is now doing is actually going and checking your website to see if it is user-friendly. Now, I would like to give you two examples. Both are from my own website, so nobody gets mad. One of them is my basically web design company website, Sketch Pro Studios. By the way, if you haven't checked it, go ahead and check it. The link is right here or here somewhere. Go ahead and click it and see for yourself. Now, the question of UX design is actually very simple. And the answer to that is very simple as well. The question is it user-friendly? And the answer is, well, it should come from the user. So you as a user, take a look at this. On every section, do you know what is expected from you, such as clicking the button? On the next section, is there enough text to answer the questions that you may have, or is it something you may just scroll after? Is there another call to action, or call to actions repeated on the page? Or do you feel stranded like between a bunch of text and images and you don't really know what to do? Are there outbound, inbound links? Are there sliders? Are there images that interact with your viewers? Do all pages actually work? Or if we try and load a page, do we get an error 404? All of these are now things that actually do matter to Google. So based on, even according to the most recent updates with Google, this website should do just fine. The same with our test website. If you haven't seen that before, make sure you go to techmasteracademy.com. This is a test website we have created for you just to see how simple it is to actually put all the features in one place without having to pay thousands of dollars to front-end builders like Wix or ClickFunnels or whoever that is. So the same with this website. Now we want to take a look at this and see, is this a Google worthy and SEO worthy website? And the answer is actually between this test website and the previous website I showed you, this is even better. So if these two websites were aimed at the same target market, the chances of Tech Master Academy coming up on a search result would be much higher than the previous website I showed you. What is the reason? Text is more well-balanced. There are way more outbound than inbound links on this page. And there are many call to actions that are repeated. And there is a contact form at the bottom of every single page. And before SEO gurus who may be watching this start lashing out at me, no, that has nothing to do with SEO. This is what I have for you. According to Google, the most important element they are focusing on with their latest updates is the UX design of the page. So I just wanted to run this past everyone, my friends. Make sure that you have someone, a designer, somebody who can actually go through your website, or as we call it, crawl the website, check it out for you, just for them to see if all the pages work, if all the pages load fast, and so on and so forth. And to end this video, I would like to share two tools with you. One is neilpatel.com/SEO-analyzer. If you don't see it, it's up here. I will try and write it in the description below as well. This is actually a website that analyzes your website for very generic aspects of SEO. So if you are very if you're SEO virgin, this is where to start. When you land here, if you see this white page, don't get fooled. This is an ad, so don't click anywhere. There's actually an X button at the corner. Go ahead and click that. Now, you don't need to sign in or anything. Just drop your link here. For example, this, click Analyze Website. It can take up to 10 minutes to actually analyze everything. That being said, do not take everything that you see in the results seriously, but make sure you go through them and you actually check them on your website. So Neil Patel has been, if you don't know him, he's an SEO guru. I'm pretty sure that the recent updates will be applied here to his analyzer as well. But that was the very first website I wanted to show you that I recommend you to use. And the other one that I would like to suggest you to use is called Pingdom Test Tool. Now, if you go to I believe if I can find it, tools.pingdom.com, there are many website speed test tools across. Actually, Google has one, so you can use that as well. But that, depending on the time of day and how fast your DNS and everything else is, the results may vary. Pingdom is a more realistic sort of approach to website speed, which now does matter a lot to Google. So if you want to test your website and see how fast it really loads from across the globe, go ahead and drop your link here, whatever it is, select the server. Now, in this case, for example, we want to use Washington, D.C. or San Francisco. Let's go there and click Start Test. Depending on traffic on their own website, it might take maybe 30 seconds to a minute. But the good thing is that then it will tell you how your website is doing, how fast or slow it is, and why it is that fast or slow. So to wrap it up, let's take a look. Right now, this website is actually very slow. It's making 149 HTTP requests. It is slow based on my standards. It's still fast compared to many other websites. It's loading in 1.64 seconds. The page size is actually pretty high because there are a lot of images. So if I scroll down, as you can see, it is showing me that I have two main issues. One, make fewer HTTP requests. If you are not sure what exactly that means, go to our Facebook support group, give me the link to your website. Let me actually check it and give you an analysis of it. And also it's telling me add expires headers. Now, for technical reasons, I could not add that to this page or basically to this website because of the way it's functioning, but this will give you a very good understanding of how fast your site is loading. To wrap it up, my friends, Google now cares about the user experience, how well your website is actually treating your clients. So make sure you have done all of your old school SEO tricks. So you have released a lot of blog posts, you have all the keywords that you need in them, so on and so forth. Inbound, outbound links, make sure you check them. But also run your website past a web designer, a professional web designer, not an SEO guru, but a web designer, and ask them to check your site for UX features, for a user experience. That includes testing it for speed, as I just showed you. That includes testing it for keywords and everything else that we already discussed. That also includes checking the grid layout of your pages to see if people can actually navigate their way around your content easily check your bounce rates, and so on and so forth. Now I know that a lot of you may be going like, what are you talking about? Don't worry, soon there will be a way more complete basically case study on the new changes, on the new algorithms by Google. But until then, if you have any questions, make sure you drop a comment below. Make sure you subscribe, make sure you like, and please, please, please share this channel with any entrepreneur you know who may be struggling with tech. It may be helpful to them. Until next time, guys, thank you and see you then.